Hello and welcome everybody to Music and Mixing. I'm DJ Michael Joseph. We had a little bit of a delay tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. There were other shows that were going on because right now Disc Jockey News is doing this awesome series on educational stuff, and they were running a little bit late tonight, so that's why we're running a little bit late tonight. So we're all here hanging out. I hope it doesn't hurt anybody's schedule that we were behind so much, but I'm still going to be here for the full hour to answer all the questions you have. Tonight is open question night, as we do once a month. If you are new to this show, let me fill you in a little bit, or if you're watching this on demand. Basically, this whole show was started over a year ago, and it was about the mixing part of DJing. A lot of stuff on Disc Jockey News covers business or, the different things that go on at a wedding, but this show is 100% about mixing, hands-on, some sort of equipment, mixing, scratching, blending, whatever you want to label what you do, that's what this is about. So everything we do in this show technically kind of goes around the mixed DJ, but we do open up questions to other things, and it also doesn't mean that if you're not a mixed DJ, doesn't mean you can't get anything out of this. So we kind of cover everything, and it used to be every single week, and I would cover all kinds of topics, but we decided to put some of the educational stuff because I feel that the educational stuff that I was giving was valuable. So I thought we would put it in the insider area. And if you want to find out about the insider area, just go to discjockeynews.com, and up at the top there's a little thing called the insider area button, and it gives you a drop down, and it tells you all about what the insider is. There is cost to certain things aren't cost, but they're educational material that you can't get anywhere else, only here on Disc Jockey News' insider area. And along with that, you get all kinds of cool swag like t-shirts or different things like that. But it's basically, we took a lot of that info and we put that behind the scene, but I still come back once a month, the last Wednesday of every month, and answer questions. And earlier this week, was it this week or last week? Last week. I think it was last week, or whenever. I think it might have been last week. It has to be last week because it wasn't this week. Dan and I did a show together, and people were asking questions at the top of the hour of that one that I said, save them, bring them this week. So I know we're going to get at least 2 questions that I know I'm going to expect tonight, and the third one that is possible, and I'm going to cover all of them. So at this time, for those of you who don't know, maybe if you're just listening to this audio-wise, or if you're listening on demand, there is a live chat going on right now for the live broadcast of it, and people can ask questions in the live chat. And that's what's going on right now. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Right now, I'm also going to say hello to anybody that comes in the chat. We always start a couple minutes, go into it and let people kind of get into the feed and see what's going on. And at that time, we kind of just do a shout out to see whoever's there and stuff like that. And that's where we're at right now. So we'll see who is in the chat. I know I saw Jimmy in there. Hello, Jimmy. Jimmy also does a lot of our graphics for Disc Jockey News. And I want to thank him because 2 shows, not this show, but 2 shows prior to it, we had 2 of them where it was like last minute. I came to him and said, can you give me a flyer splash for the YouTube? And he came through just like that. So I thoroughly appreciate his abilities and willingness to to give me that stuff last minute when it was literally last minute. So David Myers is in there. What's going on, David? Todd and Steve's in there. Todd, I believe I'm going to see you this week. Todd is from out of town, but he comes in to the city where I live, Pittsburgh, and he's going to hang out a couple of places depending on where I'm DJing and all that kind of fun stuff. Who else is in here? Let me scroll back a bit. That's all I see in here right now is just 2 of you. So feel free to shout out your name. And even if you want to shout out where you're from, I'll do a shout out at that. It's just like the only place I do shout outs. When I'm DJing at a club or bar, it's an almost impossibility to get me to do a shout out. I don't know, they're a pain in the butt. I don't want to do them. So if you can get one here, this is the only place you're going to get one. That's all I got to say. We got lots of questions here. For those of you who don't know, like prior to the show, I actually was thinking about a while back, and I debated on it, is because prior to the show I set up and I just DJ because I love to DJ, I love to mix. It's one of my favorite things. So anytime the equipment's set up, I'm playing, as simple as that. And tonight I got on a kick with nothing but like Latin house music. And while we're waiting for everybody, a couple people in the chat, were there. Jimmy was there, and I'm like, while that's going on, I'm doing this. Go listen to this song. And I gave him a song one of my favorites, and David went and listened to it, and he liked it. So cool. Glad you liked that. Jeff Bennett, if I'm saying that right, Bennett, possibly, is from New Zealand. We have been getting a lot of international viewers on this show, and I love the fact how the internet connects people together. Because I told this story before. I remember back in the day trying to give out like my CDs and my mixes and because I put out 12 albums in my lifetime, so there's actual songs I wrote. And, you know, when the internet age come around, I threw a couple things online, and it showed that I had like 1,000 listeners in a week. And in my mind, back in the day, I couldn't have handed a CD or a demo 1,000 of them out. I could not have, let alone have 1,000 people listen. And with the internet the way it is, I can DJ to a room. But with this, I'm worldwide, and I love the fact that we get people from so many different countries that join in this show, and I just love it. And I know you're all on some crazy different time zones and different things like that. And especially if you watch it on demand afterwards, you know, feel free to shout out in the chat. I mean, in the notes below, you know, after you're watching it on demand, and say hello and different things like that. People ask me questions on there, and I try to answer it there and stuff like that. So that's good for there and here. Dave asks a question: what current genre you'd like to spin right now? Now, basically, I can sum this up super easy to answer his question. What's my favorite genre? Anything between 120 BPM and 130 BPM. I love that BPM range, whether it's house, Latin house, pop remixes, anything in that BPM range. I love all of that BPM range where it's dancey and fast, so it can be anything. Jeff says it's 3:30 p.m. there. Cool. It is 11:30 p.m., 10:30 p.m. Sorry, I'm still on the wrong daylight savings crap. For those of you who don't know, if don't like the daylight savings, there are petitions out there, and I just signed one to get rid of daylight savings. So I am a strong opposer of daylight savings. So that's my political point for the day. So there we go. Okay, so anybody else in the chat? Feel free to bring the questions. We can start the questions anytime if there's anybody there that has questions that are tuning in. I don't know if the other shows threw some people off or they got the wrong links or what. I don't know how. I don't have the thing open to see how many people we have viewing right now. Is that in this one or is that in this one? I don't think it's in either. I don't think I can see that. But like I said, feel free to shout out some questions or anything like that. I have a feeling a couple of the questions we're going to get, I'm like way prepared for. So it should be good. Checking some things out here in the feed. Rob Swift is a beast, always has been. If you're talking about the same Rob Swift of the Executioners, he's hit that whole crew. It's just unbelievable. If you've never seen the movie Scratch, the movie, it's kind of a documentary about the history of scratch, DJ scratching, and they kind of went into the Executioner's lair and kind of showed what they do, and it's really incredible. It's a great video. I'm sure you can get it everywhere on Netflix or anything like that. I've had it so long, I have it on DVD. That's how old it is. That's how old I've had it. But yeah, Rob, he's crazy, and I can never think of the other guy who I like. Give me a second. I got to give me a second here to think of his name. He always wears these shirts that are like a picture of him. Let me see if I can find that here, because it's his stuff. I would recommend going seeing his stuff because I just absolutely love his stuff. I think here I don't even know where I'm looking here for. Doing a search here while we're talking and typing. If you guys, like I said, have any questions, feel free to drop stuff in. Let me see here on my playlist, because I know it's in the playlist called Cool DJ Videos. I know I threw it in there. At least I thought it was in the playlist called Cool DJ Videos. That one's there. Oops. This is Please Don't Play. Okay, it's not playing. Thankful it's not playing. What is his name? I can't think of it. He's recently a DMC competitor. He's not like an older guy like Rob Swift, and I just absolutely love his stuff. And darn it if I cannot find that video. Oh, it's going to bug me till I remember that dude's name. There it is. DJ Spell. S-P-E-L-L. That's the guy. I love his stuff. He is so animated and so creative. I just absolutely love it. So go check his stuff out. DJ Spell is his name. I also got the chance to last Saturday, the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust had a big day of stuff going on, and they had speakers and stuff come in, and I got to go see the 2017 DMC champion, DJ Pearly, speak. And she answered some questions, did an interview, then did a battle routine on stage, and then answered questions from the audience. And it was really cool to be like just a few feet away from someone who is international level DJ talent and see that. It's quite humbling to see that talent in front of you, because it's, especially for someone like me who knows what she was doing, the little intricacies of movements and stuff, and know how difficult that is. Just absolutely blew my mind. So that was kind of cool to get to see that. People talking about, yeah, the DJ Spell. Like I said, I just love, he's so creative and animated. I love that too. George Gonzalez, hello? First, hello. Second, is that a question about the Denon Prime 4? Is it a wish that you had one like the rest of us, or what is that? Let me know what that is. Also, Jeff said, I'm 57 years old and spinning about 128 BPM makes the clients bounce. A lot of places don't want to hear that. I have another friend of mine that I was out the other night and went to check him out. He's older than me. He's about 60-ish, and was talking about, the difference in how all the new music that he downloads is all in like the 70 and 80 BPM range. And that's what, like, if you do a college thing, you kind of have to stick with that, as sadly as it is. But that's kind of what's going on here. Jeff said he's saving for it. Yeah, I actually had a friend who got to talk to some people at the Mobile Beat, and he asked questions about it and stuff when it's coming out. And actually the first run, and I don't know if I should be saying this, I mean, they told him at the expo, so I don't suppose it's a secret. Their first run of those, they're only doing like 1,000. So if you want one, you're going to have to get it quick, because they do that on the first run, and then you might have to wait a little bit before the second run comes through. It's pretty cool. They are still continually working on updates for it, which I think is kind of cool, that people are asking, for things, and they're putting it into work on the Prime 4, which I really like the fact that they're very proactive on that. It's going to be cool. It's not for everybody because it's kind of bigger and it's expensive. It is because this is the Denon MC7000 that I run, that I absolutely love this thing. And the Prime 4 is about 3 or 4 pounds heavier than this. This is 15 pounds. So I think that one's 18 point something or other. It is just like a half an inch wider and a couple inches deeper, this, front and back. So it's just a little bit bigger, but you have that giant 10-inch screen in the center and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to it. It's crazy. Yeah, pre-ordered. George, he said he pre-ordered it, so you will be getting one of those. So that's so cool. I saw Ben Stowe, our buddy here on Disc Jockey News. He got one, and I'm kind of jealous. So, but it is what it is. It'll come when it comes. That sort of thing. No hurry. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep press and play. So, okay, back to the chat. We have any questions tonight? I don't see a lot of people in there. People, feel free to say hello. Is it too late for people? Is that because normally we do the show at 9 p.m., but because of all the other shows, we had to kick it back to 10 p.m. tonight. I hope that didn't kill everybody. I don't know, David, if that has been verified that it will take a 4 terabyte drive. I do know that it will take they're verifying it as a 1 terabyte SATA drive. So it may take something bigger, because a lot of things that they come out with, those like phones and whatnot, that they say that you can put a 512 card in it. You can put up to they'll say up to a 512 card. That one they're saying a 1 terabyte SATA drive, but it could be bigger. I don't know. From what I was told, like my friend, like I said, who was at Mobile Beat, they told him as of Mobile Beat, they start shipping in 2 weeks from Mobile Beat, which is what, a week ago. So I'm guessing first week of April is when they start shipping, right around there. And also what I was told is pay attention to Guitar Centers, because believe it or not, from what I'm told, they're supposed to get them ahead of time. I don't really know, but what that's all about. I mean, because they work out things for different types of places where they can be bought, but that's not the only place you can get them. But that is something that I guess they've worked out with Guitar Center, so check that out. All right, so Shining City Music, hello. I didn't get to say hello to you. Yeah, that's one of the things Dave was talking about, that up to 4 terabytes in future updates. Trust me when I say I know that there's firmware coming on both it and the Denon 5000s, the 5000 and 5000M, that has not been released yet, that you're going to be amazed by. So they're still working on stuff that's going to be released, some stuff I know about that I'm not supposed to talk about that you will love. So it's coming. Pay attention to both of those, because that's a world that I think is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow and be quite amazing. Cool. Any other questions in the chat? See what's going on here. I'm also waiting to kind of see how the software integration goes for that, because I love the fact that they've already said it will work with both Serato and Virtual. But my thought is how much is that screen going to be integrated? Can it be integrated to where that touch screen can, work some effects or something, to while you have the thing over here and you can work some effects too. And hopefully it's multi-purpose and not just one thing. They'll order yours, Jimmy. I keep asking John, I said, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? And either he's kind of keeping it under his hat, which he's done that before with me, to where something will show up at my door and it'll be, kind of stuff like that. So who knows? Like I said, when it gets here, it gets here. If it doesn't, I've got this awesome thing that I absolutely love. So have I ever used DVS? Absolutely. I've used it. I'm not a fan of it because I'm just not a fan of carrying around all that much stuff. I'm actually going hopefully early next week, Monday or Tuesday, because I just found out, because for those of you who don't know, I'm a person who loves to use Virtual DJ, and Virtual DJ just got the update that it works with the Rain 12s, the turntables without the needles and stuff. It already worked with the 72 because I've already plugged it in the 72 and I have all the controls of 72 through Virtual, but Virtual now went with the 12s, and I'm going to go down and get the hook up at DJ Cadillac. He's a friend of ours here at Disc Jockey News. He's been on a few times, and I'm going to get to go down and plug into the 12s with that, and which I played with him on his setup, his Serato and stuff, but they're going to have it now for the for Virtual, so I'm going to go down this week and test that. Yeah, but not a big fan of the DVS. Like I said, it's just, to me, I like being able to do the stuff that I can with this, the customizations, all the MIDI mapping, all that kind of stuff. It's just a personal preference. I always tell people it's like driving a car. Some people like to drive a little sports car. Other people like maybe a big truck. That's all that is. Both will get you where you need to go. So, Guitar Center only has a demo, but nothing cash and carry. Yeah, because they're not, like I said, they're not out yet. They're supposed, like I said, what he was told at MobileBeat, 2 weeks they start shipping, so that puts it into the first week of April, which is where I thought it was going to be, first week, from when they told us way back. Yeah. Yeah, most of them, all the time codes are the same, because I can literally walk up to a setup with whether it has a Rain 62 or whether it has a Serato box, plug in my Virtual, and Virtual reads it immediately and immediately starts playing. I don't have any problems with that. All the time codes are the same. There's not much difference. Some people say they like the Virtual time codes better because they say it tracks better, but I don't understand how it can really, because it's the exact same tone. Because literally it has to be the same tone on both records. Because all it is, if you play it on a record player, it's just beep. That's all it is. So hopefully, I'm reading the questions in the chat for those who are wondering why I'm just standing here. I haven't frozen. I'm reading the questions. Surprised we didn't, like I said, the other day when Dan and I was doing it, we got hit with a couple questions that I really thought we were going to get here in the chat. I'm surprised that no one has asked about them, because they were hammering me that night, and we couldn't talk about them that night because we had to talk about the other stuff that we were doing. We were focusing on stuff in the chat. What was that show we did? It was about, how to get bar and club gigs. That was what it was. So if you're in the insider area, I did a video with Dan a couple weeks ago. It's now there for you to view, and it's only viewable from the insider area. You can't see it unless you're part of the insiders thing, but it's a little over an hour. We talked about all the different little tricks and stuff I use to get into bar and club gigs and to get those kind of gigs. So that's when that show was going on, I had people hitting in the chat asking questions. I said, bring them Wednesday. Bring them Wednesday. So if you have any questions, I don't know who's all in here. I don't see a lot of people in the chat tonight. So holla, see what's going on. Because if I don't get anything soon, I'm just going to go talk about the things that they ask about. Because I think they're cool things. So 3 things that came up, and I kind of want to share about them. I think they're very cool. Well, I guess one of them was the thing about the 1200s. That was one of them. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was, well, actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it still gives me 3 things to talk about, tonight. So, yeah, because the other one was the support for the Rain 12s, which I'm excited about that, getting back to do that. For those of you in the chat seeing Disc Jockey News typing about Mega Seg, that's John. John loves Mega Seg, and every time we say Mega Seg, you have to take a drink. But since I'm talking and doing the show, I'm not going to take a drink now. And I think I've said it 3 times, so you have to take a drink 3 times or whatever it is. But they did just do an update, and when I was in there looking at the update, because like I said, I try everything out. It's just one of my things with Disc Jockey News. I try to try everything out. And when I was trying it out, I was surprised by how many different pieces of DJ hardware work with Mega Seg. So that was kind of neat. It's still, to me, not a DJ software, because it's just the way it works. You have to do something to DJ, in my opinion, and it just doesn't do it yet. Probably will be there, but it's just not there. All right, next one here. Have you heard Bose speakers on a controller? I think I know where that question goes, and I'm going to lead you ahead of time. A speaker's a speaker, a controller's a controller. So if I hook this up to a Bose, or if I hook it up to K12s, or if I hook it up to EVs, it's just sound coming out into something. So you might have an ear that likes the Bose that sound better than the QSCs, or you might like the QSCs better than the EV, or you might like the EV better than the Bose. It doesn't necessarily mean one works better or sounds better, because each has their opinion. Like myself, I don't like Bose, especially the upright speakers. I don't even know what those are called, the tower ones, because they have a really, really wide range on their sound dispersal, and I have good ears, so I literally can't be far enough behind them to where it's not too loud. So like if I'm standing here DJing and they're 4 feet up, to me they have so much bleed that it's too loud for me to stand right here and DJ. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like them. Not saying that they sound bad, but just each person to their own thing, and I really don't like that. But again, it's to each person. But it's like I said, 99% of the time, I'm either plugged into the house system at a club or a bar, or I'm coming direct out XLR outs into 2 speakers, whatever the speakers might be that night. You know, QSC, because I run QSC K12s a lot. You know, AVs or whatever I'm plugged into that night. I don't go through any sort of intermediate thing, nothing. I'm out, because again, 99% of the gigs I'm doing as a mixed DJ, I'm not talking on the mic. This has 2 mic inputs. It's plenty enough for me. I just do my thing, and that's all I have to do. So back to that. I have a 2-sided business card, one side wedding and formal, the other side of bar and club oriented. That's cool. It's kind of confusing. It's cool. I know I have friends that have 2 websites, one for their club's DJ side, the other one for the wedding side. They keep the 2 totally separate, which is good. It's tough. How do I project video on TVs using virtual DJ? Just HDMI out is it. That's all I have to do. It does the rest. It feeds it up there. I can run logos. I can, because you use the different kind of plugins that they have, telemedia and televisual, which are free, but you can also pay for a higher end one that does more. But with those, I can do layering things, put birthdays up there. I can do slideshows. That's one of the things that a couple of the bars like that I do, is that you determine what you want the software to do if you play an MP3. So if I'm playing a bunch of videos and I get to a song that is an MP3 and I don't have a video, there are things you can set it to go to default. And one of the defaults that some of the bars like is that I do flyers about the other night. So as I'm DJing and dropping MP3, instead of playing a video, it kicks over to the flyers and then rotates flyers from other nights. You know, salsa night on Thursday, you know, and it does that while the MP3 is playing. And then the next song I get to is a video, it goes back to the video. So it is just a straight HDMI out, and that's it. It covers everything. TKS. I'm not sure what TKS means. Please forgive me. It's probably you young kids with your abbreviations. I don't know what that is. Well, gosh, I can't believe we haven't gotten the questions that I swore I was going to get hammered by these questions. but we're not. I guess we don't have a lot of people in the chat tonight, I guess. I don't know. Because I haven't seen too many. I can't see the numbers from where I'm at, how many people are viewing. So we're there. Take a couple more questions, then I'm going to take a commercial break, and then I'll come back and talk about the things that I wanted to talk about. I guess I probably should do a show one day on the video, because I've had a couple people ask me about that and the way I do the setups and do the logos and different things like that. Because you can either put the standard straight logo up in the corner, or going through the telemedia and televisual, you can do 3D graphics that spin and do stuff through that. Oh, okay, thanks, TKS. Sorry, didn't know that. Wasn't TKS? No, what was the tape brand that used to be back in the day? Jimmy would know it. Cassette tape brand. I can't think of what it is. TSK, or what was it, Jimmy? Come on, give me that. But anyways, yeah, so if you're in the chat, say hello, shout out, open question night, whatever. I'm going to hit some more. I have a feeling as soon as I get into these, you guys are going to have questions, which is good. That's fine. But waiting for Jimmy to get back to me with what that tape was. TDK, David Myers gets the win. That was it. I could not remember what that was. So from now on, when I type TDK, everyone's going to know that means thanks. So there you go. GK the DJ got that one too. So yeah, cool. All right, so I'm going to go hit a quick commercial break because we got to thank our sponsors for all the stuff that they do here. And then I'm going to come back and share the couple things that I thought I was going to get hammered with questions with. It should be pretty good, and I hope you guys like it. And I will be right back after these messages. Tonight's DJ and TV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and DJ and TV Insiders. And we definitely want to thank our sponsors for helping out with the show. If it wasn't for them, I would be here by myself doing nothing, kind of like I was prior to the show. But we definitely want to thank them. Down in the show notes below, even if you're watching this on demand, there are the links to all of our sponsors. Please take some time, click on them, go see what they have, purchase something, and if you purchase something, tell them, hey, I saw this over at Disc Jockey News, and I saw it on MJ's Music or Mixing show. If you wish, I would like that. But definitely do that. Take some time to click like on the videos. Please share them if you like any of the content on any of the videos that we do here at Disc Jockey News. We love it that you share them. So all that kind of fun stuff. So the things that I got hammered about that I thought was going to be the question here, I'm going to switch screens over to the other computer right now. Okay, so as you see, I'm running the boring standard virtual skin, which those of you who know me know I hate this skin. But there is a reason that I'm showing this skin tonight, because they added something recently that I thought was kind of neat. They added these buttons right here, right there, and right there. And it is part of their key, auto key adjust. So that means if you want to mix in harmony, you can set them by changing the key of the song, plus or minus 1, 2, 3 or more, or you can put automatic. Now what automatic does is that if I have, I'm going to just type in 105, so I'm going to pick a song here, and a couple of other things that they do. And let me do this here, move this over because I want you to be able to see this here. Let me move this up here. Okay, so if it's on automatic, so right now I'm going to show that this is on automatic key match, okay, just so that you know that. And I go move this up to here, and you can see the songs and what key they're in. So I'm just going to pick a song and put it on the right deck, and automatically that is now going to populate this entire line right here that shows us this area right here is what key the song is in, and this is plus or minus the difference of what is playing right now. So as obviously it's 0 off because that's the song I picked right here. this one is one key off, and one of the things they do besides just putting the numbers that it's one semitone off is that they put these little markers there. So if it's white, that means it's dead on. If it's gray, it's 1, and if there doesn't any, it's too far out. So if I pick one here that is 1 off and put it on the other deck, what it's going to do is that it's automatically going to take this song here on this side and put it in the right key automatically, so that when I mix them, you're not mixing off key, they're in the right semitones. And as you mix and switch, you will watch this column change. So I'm going to dump this song here on the right deck, okay? And song's gone, and I will pick another song that is way different, and I will put it on the other side, and you'll see the numbers change. And the same thing, if I do that again, it shows you how far they are off. So if I pick this one here and throw it onto this side, and then I fade down that song and go to the other side, and you will see right here, it changes. Throw another song up there, and the song changes. So if I'm mixing, let's say I'm mixing and it's playing, I'm not going to turn the volume up, but if it's playing, and then I put another song on the other side that is totally different, we'll pick this one right here, up there, and I'm going to press play on it, and then I'm going to basically stop the other one, and you'll see the key changes, the difference in the key changes change. And you saw there. So now all of these are that off of that. So if I do the same thing, grab another one, throw it up here, press play on it, press stop on the other, you will see these here change. So it automatically live continues to tell you what, if you're 1 semitone off, 2 semitone offs, 5, etc., stuff like that. And when you do the drop down up here, you can set it to go 1 off or 2 off or more. I don't like to use it because when I used it the other night, it did perfectly matching keys. It really, really did a great job. But if I put this one in here on this key and put this one over here and it adjusts it, so now when I do my mix, they're in the right key. But now I shut this one off, and this one whose pitch was changed to match is still in that off key that most people don't hear. But I'm listening to it going, that song is now in the wrong quote-unquote key. So that's the only difference with that, but it does it automatically. And the reason why I showed it on the stock skin is because some of the newer skins have not added that drop-down. It's the drop-down only right now. I mean, like I've checked a couple skins. I haven't checked all of them. But, you know, I use the one that is the Controller HD by Denyo, and it does not have that drop-down button there for you to pick. You can go into the menu and choose auto key or not auto key. It's in the menu. It's not a difficult thing, but it works really well. So if you want to be a person who mixes harmonically, it really does well, both in matching if you're auto adjusting, and 2, telling you where you're at and how far off the next song is from the one you're playing. So it gives you a really good live visual range of the two. But keep in mind, if it kicks a song up a range or down a range, that while it's playing and you're searching for the next song, unless you click that one back to normal, it's going to set in that off key throughout the whole song. And I didn't like that. So it's not a big deal, but it's there for you to choose. So that was the one thing here. So if you have any questions about that, yeah, it worked. I'm not saying it doesn't work in the other skins, but I didn't see all the other skins have that drop down button to be able to choose on the fly like that. That's what I'm saying. It works in all of them, but I didn't see it have that drop down button on all of the other skins. So you'll have to kind of do some research on that to see what's there and what's not there. But that was the one thing that I kept getting questions about the other night, and I swore that people were going to come in today and hit me up with that. But that's okay. That's cool. Again, I'll take questions on that if you want. We still got about 20 minutes left in the show, 20-some minutes. The next thing I wanted to show is, if you saw the video I did a while back, for those of you who know, I've talked about the fact that a lot of the softwares are doing adding streaming services to them. And again, I've heard a thing recently that I'm not supposed to talk about, to keep an eye out for stuff. But recently, for those of you who don't know, Serato allows you to stream from Tidal, which is like SoundCloud, and is like Spotify, and SoundCloud Go Plus. And SoundCloud Go Plus, which I can't say that. When I did the video, I had trouble saying it over and over and over. It's a lot like Spotify, but it also has some original songs on there. And we're going to do a little search and show you kind of the difference of them and what it is and what came with SoundCloud. And again, you have to, just like the Deezer that I always use, or the Content Unlimited that Virtual offers, or if you're on Serato, like I said, the SoundCloud Go or the Tidal, you have to pay for one of their subscriptions to be able to use it within these softwares. So we'll switch screens here, and we're going to go left zoom, and I'm going to go over to here. So as you see now, next to Deezer, which that's always been there, is that Deezer for personal use only. So if I were to search for Pitbull and do a search, you'll see a lot of songs come up. But you're not going to get anything in here that is going to show up as in a DJ formatted thing, like a remix or a clean version. If I go to the iDJ Now Pro one, which this is one you have to have a subscription for, which I don't have one for this right now, it will give you DJ edits. But it'll say that it'll only, like right here, it says that because I don't have a subscription, that I can only play 30 seconds at a time. But as you see this, it'll have versions, clean versions, remix versions, and stuff like that. That's with the iDJ Now, which is part of Virtual's Content Unlimited. But like I said, they recently added SoundCloud, and SoundCloud gives you a little bit of both. So you will get a little bit of the originals, and you will get some remixes in there. And right there's a remix and some dirty remixes, and some of these are marked as that. So you kind of get a little bit in between. Also in their drop down under SoundCloud, these are folders that they have added, stuff that you've liked within the SoundCloud Go, or playlists you've created, but also trending. And it will give you lists of stuff that's trending, so you can go down in there and say, hey, I need to play some deep house. What's trending in deep house right now? And it populates with stuff that's trending in deep house. So it's kind of a neat little thing that they've added to that. And again, this is live. You have to pay for the subscription, which is about, give or take, $10 a month. They're all about $10 a month. The Deezer, the Content Unlimited, all of them are 10, 11, or 12, depending on after taxes and whatnot like that. But they all give you stuff. And let me move this down a little bit here. Whoops, I'm going over here. And I'll show you how fast some of them load, because it really does well. So this is just a deep house song. I'm going to drag and drop. This is not on my computer. Up to here, and you'll see it load. And as soon as that waveform loads all the way, that song is 100% playable. So I could lose the internet right after that loaded, and I could play the whole song. So here we go. Boom. So right about now, that song is playable. I could go offline, and it still would be playable. The same if I go to Deezer and do Pitbull. Bringing me all the stuff on Pitbull, and I throw Timber up there, and you watch Timber load, zoom, and it's playable. And the same with Content Unlimited or any of those, it works that way. But they recently did, like I said, they added the SoundCloud Go Plus, and I thought that was kind of neat, and I thought I would get a lot of questions on that, but I didn't. But if you have any questions about those two, should I do the third one? Let me see what the third one is here. I'll get to the third one in a second. We'll come back to the third one. So if you have any questions about those two, now's the time to ask about those two. Anyone in the chat, feel free to shout out questions that you might have about either one of those two if you felt that they were interesting or whatever. You know, to each his own. I like them. Like I said, I'm a fan of using Deezer. There's many times when I've been out DJing, because I do not believe that you should rely on them. But download your songs. But every once in a while you get to somewhere that somebody will ask for something that you want to play it, and you don't have it, and you're like, oh man, if I had that, that could make this moment. Someone's birthday somewhere. I did one once where I was at a bar, and a guy asked a girl that night to marry him, and she said yes, and he says, this is our song. Can you play it? And I'm like, well, what is it? And he told me, and I didn't have it. So I went online, found on like just through Deezer, and listened to it, and I went, oh yeah, this will fit, because it was kind of like a Blink 182 kind of type rock song. I'm like, yeah, this will go. And right before I played it, I said, hey, so-and-so over here, this couple tonight, he asked, and she said yes. And I dropped their song, and everybody cheered, and it was a great time, and it was a moment maker. So the ability to go and grab those, because that's kind of why I say they're there for a backup. They're great. They're fabulous for a backup, but don't rely on them. Okay, here, that's a good question that GK asked. On the Deezer, it is marked for personal use only. So there's a difference between against the law and against I forgot what that's called. Terms of agreement or terms of use. And terms of agreement and terms of use means that, like Spotify, it's not against the law to play that stuff out in public. If you, I mean, obviously any place that's a business has to pay for its BMI and ASCAP stuff to be able to play any music whatsoever. But in SoundCloud and Spotify and iTunes, all of those terms of use thing, they tell you that it cannot be used in a place where you make money. So that's why it says for personal use only, because technically with their rules, you're not supposed to play anything on there in a place that you make money from it. And that could be as a DJ or at a bar where you're playing it in the background, or if a grocery store plays it in the background. That's against their terms of use. And that's all the reason they put that on there is kind of a disclaimer. Deezer is out of Paris, France, so their rules are a little bit different. Spotify's used to work here, now only an algorithm program. It works, and I'm hearing rumors about the Spotify working up agreements with other DJ softwares like Virtual and Serato and all that. So we may see the return of Spotify back into these, which I think it would be really cool. But again, as this stuff develops, I think we're going to see another company like the Content Unlimited offered out there for other places that have DJ versions of stuff, edits, remixes, intros, clean, dirty, all that kind of stuff, specifically for the DJ, but you will be paying. Trust me, it's going to cost everything. Like I said, right now I have the Deezer and the SoundCloud that I'm paying for, and that's about $20 a month just to have a thing to be able to grab when I'm out. I don't own the song when it's done. If I stop paying on Deezer, I can't play anything I have. You don't have to be online because you can download them, put them in your cache, but you still have to go online at least once every 30 days to show that you're still a subscriber to continue playing them. And if you don't, the DRM that's in them will stop you from playing them. And the DRM in them also, if your recording is set, because I've done this before, because I record a lot of my live sets when I'm out DJing, and maybe I'll go and grab a song that I don't have off of Deezer, I'll throw it into the deck to play, and my recording will pop up and say, this song is DRM protected. Would you like us to pause recording until you're done? And it will pause the recording until you're done playing that song. And then as soon as you start the other song, it'll start your recording back up again. And that's just part of all how that works. But it's good. It's like I said, I love the fact to be able to grab stuff when I'm out, last minute one-offs, but I'm a firm believer that every DJ should curate their own library with a passion, with a big passion. So that's those. Any questions about those? GK loves Deezer. Actually, it's funny because listening, I like Spotify. So I'm paying for Spotify to listen because I love to listen to, it's weird as being a DJ, one of my favorite things to do is go into Spotify, type in a type of music or whatever I'm in the mood for, and listen to somebody else's playlist. And I kind of feel it's like they're my DJ for that time with their playlist. And I think Spotify has more, I don't think it has more, I know it has more playlists, but I like them more. So I listen to Spotify, pay for it, and pay for Deezer to have on this, but they're virtually the same thing. So I can open an app up on my phone and listen to Deezer right now, just exactly the way I would Spotify. I can go to a browser and listen to Deezer on a computer, a laptop, a tablet, whatever. It all works exactly the same. But I am paying for both because I'm a sucker. But if one of them do bring back the Spotify to this, I probably will drop Deezer and stick with Spotify if I'm able to get Spotify back, because it's an all-around thing for me. And I'm going to bet if they do that, the price is going to go up. So you're going to have the $9 fee for just a person to listen to, and probably a $20 fee if you want to listen and play out. So it'll probably still cost me the same as having both. Do I save the Deezer songs in the cache at any time? I don't, but you can have it set so it auto does it. It auto saves it. Because again, like I said, when I'm DJing, if I want that song, I'll make a note and go back and get the song when I get home. I make notes all the time on my phone about getting songs, editing songs, get a new version, look for a new version of this, do this, and that helps me. So if I don't have it, I'll definitely make a note of it and get it later. But like I said, it auto puts them in there. So if there was a song that was in there, a good example right now, I'm going to do a quick search here and see if it comes up. It was a song somebody asked me for a while back. Oops, if I can type. and it is in there. It was called The Breakup Song. It is a Bollywood song, and somebody asked for about a month ago, and I went into, it was at a place, and there wasn't many people. It was like right at the end of the night, and they wanted to hear the song. There was a group of people. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's the last song of the night, and threw the Bollywood song on called The Breakup Song, and they loved it, had a good time, and it's still on here showing that I can drag and play it if I want to right now. So that's kind of cool that that has that. Yeah, you can right-click and delete them if you want, which I've done that before because I was at another bar I was at one time, and the one bartender was leaving, and it was this last night, and he wanted to hear this song, and it was a rock song that it was like just terrible in my opinion, and I played it for him, and soon it was over. I didn't want that to keep coming up in my search, so I right-clicked and deleted, and it's never there anymore. So you can definitely do that. Any more questions on this? Because I have one more thing that I want to share, and I think it's rather cool. Let me do this here. All right, so any more questions on this before I do the last thing? You can ask questions about this. I know I make that sound a lot, that maybe I'm a choo-choo. Choo-choo choose me. That is a Simpsons reference that is very old. All right, so the final thing that I'm doing, and I hope I can get this right here because I need to do the left screen. If I do this, there we go. Serato today released their own music editing software called Serato Studio, and it is basically in the lines of the setup of Serato, but it is kind of like Ableton to where you can edit songs, put in beats, because there are some assigned beats in there and different things like that. You can buy different sort of kits, as we would say, drum kits, piano kits, vocal kits to add in. But over here on this side, it lets you drop stuff in, stuff you've made, played your own, different things like that. It is very compatible with lots of different hardware, like Denon hardware, Newmark hardware, Pioneer hardware, where you can kind of seamlessly go between DJing a song and using that same hardware to trigger stuff within here in your editing part, to cut stuff, to add, to delete, to whatever. And one of the things that it does also is that it automatically looks at your entire library, your Serato library or whatever, and lets you work from it. And I think it's really cool that they've done this, and they've spent some time on this in putting it together, showing different effects that you can do here. Oops. I think that's the last one there. Yeah, there's just two there. But that just came out today. I downloaded it, but I have not gotten a chance to play with it very much at all. They're in the beta sense right now, so it is not out to the public. It is beta only. I mean, it's out to the public, but it's beta, so it's not for sale. And the funny thing in the bottom right-hand corner, because I obviously don't, no one can buy it right now. It does a pop-up that says you have 31 days remaining. Like, actually, it says it right there on the demo thing. For your trial, would you like to subscribe? So that takes it to me that it is not a purchase software, that it is a monthly payment. So if you want to continue using it, you have to pay monthly for this, which a lot of them are trying to push that monthly fee on stuff. And looks like Serato's doing it. But if you want to check it out, you can go to Serato's website, Serato.com, and it's called Serato Studio, and then they send you to a place where you agree that you're testing it as a beta, not to complain, blah, 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 and you click OK, then it'll give you the link to download. It's a zip file, loads it, and you're ready to go. Sign in with your Serato sign-in, whatever you have, and it puts you up in there. Like I said, I didn't get to play with it much today. I'm going to try to play with it a little bit tomorrow if I can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. But that's the things that I thought everyone was going to talk about. Yes, Lisa's Valentine's card. Thank you, GK, for that. That's my Simpsons reference, which I reference the Simpsons a lot. So those are my things that I thought everyone was going to ask about tonight, but they didn't. Some good stuff, though. I'm glad. Hope everybody liked the stuff that I covered. We still got a couple more minutes, so if you have any questions whatsoever about anything, feel free to throw them out. I'll cover them. For those who are still just kind of watching this, I do other mixing stuff. So if I'm running, let me move some stuff around here. I'm going to go back to my regular skin because, like I said, I don't really like that skin. And I want to go to wave, and that's proper wave. So this is the normal skin that I run 99% of the time. This is my virtual skin. But if you watch the show, we do different things, so you can see me mixing if I end up doing any mixing or anything like that. So tonight, nobody's asking any mixing questions, but this is what we normally see. So if you come back next month for the open question night, we can show some mixing, some scratching. If you have questions about that, if you have questions about software, anything like that, bring them, throw them at me. That's what I'm here for, to try to answer your questions. Because believe it or not, I find myself talking to people and answering questions more than I actually think I do. I realize, like, after I have a conversation with a person, that they'll be like, wow, they really just asked me a lot of questions about the DJ world. And I'm like, okay, wow, I guess I talked a lot about that. Day and Night DJ, hey, welcome. Yes, you caught in late. I don't know how late it was because we were late. We started 20 minutes late tonight, so maybe your lateness was actually on time. But yeah, we definitely have the Serato thing. Also in tonight, Dave, Day and Night, I just want to show you that we talked about the new auto, the update auto key match that Virtual is doing. We talked about the fact that Virtual now added SoundCloud Go Plus so that you can stream from there if you choose to. Those were kind of the ones that people were hitting the other night when I was doing the thing with Dan. And I'm like, hold off the questions. Wait till next week. So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to shout them out. Also, if you're watching this on demand later on, hit them in the show notes below. I'll try to answer questions the best I can. I can't always get to them, and it's not always the quickest. So if you have an important question, feel free to hit me up on any of the social medias. I'm on like every one of them. So you can ask me questions on any of them. Or if you see me out somewhere, holler. If you're in the city of Pittsburgh for any reason, let me know. You can come out and hang out. If I'm DJing somewhere, you can come out and hang out with me. I have people do that all the time. This weekend, I have some people coming in from out of town and going to hang out, so that's always good. Lots of fun stuff. Like I said, we ran late tonight because of all the other disc jockey news this entire week. They're doing some awesome educational stuff that you guys need to check out every single night. And it's covering a lot of stuff that if you were at Mobile Beat or you missed Mobile Beat, these are people that were at Mobile Beat and topics that they talked about on Mobile Beat or stuff like that. So it's covering a broad range of very deep topics in the DJ world, not just the mixing and stuff like I do, but it's all the other stuff that's out there. And different presenters are doing half-hour presentations on them, and there's multiples per night. So you can go back and watch Monday nights and tonight's, and there's more coming tomorrow night. Thursday night. I think there's more coming tomorrow night. So Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I always forget what day it is. So almost there. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. I hope I explained stuff, helped it out, because I tend to talk fast sometimes and miss a few things. There was a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, as technology changes, I'm amazed at where this is going and what it can do. I'm loving every minute of it, and a lot of DJs hate on it. I saw 2 articles recently by 2 major DJ websites talking about let's end the controller, what do they call it? Controller shaming, which it still, to me, blows my mind that someone thinks it's that big of a deal that you use a controller or don't use a controller. You use Serato, use DVS as opposed to something. Because like I've always said, back in the days when we used to race motorcycles, it isn't the bike, it's the rider. A good rider can ride fast no matter he's riding. So a controller is not going to make a bad DJ a good DJ, nor is DVS going to make a bad DJ a good DJ. It's just, if you're a good DJ, you're a good DJ. People are going to be able to see that no matter what you're using. And if you really are terrible, they're going to see that too. So that's there. So any last questions before I go? I almost dropped into a George Michael's Before I Go song there, but I will not. No more last questions. So awesome. Hey, again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat or hit me up. Don't forget also to look at the other stuff coming up on Disc Jockey News. Go visit our sponsors, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I don't know when I will be back, because sometimes I do shows with Dan and John or Shaney or whatever. Not sure if I'm coming back to any of those soon. I still have my rewind report videos that come out all the time, the Matt videos that come out all the time, and different ones we do like that. So keep an eye on those. And again, the last Wednesday of the month, we'll come back here and do this open question night all over again. So until next time, take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other, because it's a crazy world out there. God bless.